Hello, crafty friends. It is Friday, and you know what that means? It means a fun fold is coming your way. It's also the Friday of Mother's Day weekend, so if you are a mom, a grandma, an aunt, a favorite aunt, that's me, of course, I'm a favorite aunt, a dog mom, a cat mom, I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend with your families. And if you don't have any children, I hope that you also have a wonderful weekend because it's supposed to be beautiful here. All right, we're gonna make this fun fold, and it's not a difficult fun fold, and I don't even really know what to call it, but I'm gonna call it the cut it off and make a bridge fold. I'm sure it has an official name. I'm not good with official names of things, so that's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it the cut it off and make a bridge, okay? And the bridge is this piece that goes between the upper flap of the card and the bottom. And you can see, depending on which way you look at it, it makes an I or an H. So let's make this card. Like I said, it's a simple card that is pretty easy. It's a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of cardstock, and I've used the brand new Secret Sea, which is a beautiful, almost navy color. So we're gonna cut 2.5 inches off of one end. And doesn't matter which end that you do your cutting, but just make sure when you do your cuts, they're both off of the same end, because that would be a problem. All right, so there's 2.5, and then we're going to do 1.5. Okay, so now we've got our 2.5 and our 1.5, and then we have this piece, which will be our card base. Okay, now I have cut a piece of designer series paper from the beautiful gallery designer series paper, and that is brand new in the annual catalog that was just released, so be sure to check that out because it is beautiful. Okay, we've got our card base. I'm going to fold it like this, and this is going to be the top, just like this. So we are going to put our patterned paper, we're going to do the cloud cover piece on the top here, and I'm going to go ahead and attach that to the top, just like that. And then I'm going to do the same with the other piece, my paper's moving, on the piece that's going to be free floating. Okay, so that's going to go be the bottom piece. We're going to put that one right there. We're going to get all of our designer series paper glued on first. This piece, these two pieces actually are 1 1/4 inches wide by 4 inches long, in case you want to make your own. And then I'm going to use the rose pattern on the long piece, and this one is 2 1/4 by 4. Okay, now, you know what, while I'm doing this, let's go ahead and put the white piece on the middle. You could use another piece of designer series paper if you wanted, and then put your white piece on the back. Because when we put this skinny piece down the middle, your writing space is a little bit condensed. So if you want to put another piece of designer series paper here and then do a white panel on the back to write on your card, you could absolutely do that. Or you can really write skinny and just sign your name at the bottom, whatever makes you happy. But we'll go ahead and put our white panel in the middle. And you could stamp on this if you want to. I'm just going to leave space for writing. Okay, our white 4 by 5 1/4 panel, just like you would for any inside. Now, I'm going to place the blue smaller strip at the bottom. I'm going to put that all the way to the bottom. I'm going to line that up just like that was the bottom of the card. And actually, when we put all our pieces together here, this is what it would look like. Okay, so this is the piece. We kind of cut this chunk out, and we're going to turn it, and we're going to make it go this way. Okay, so I'm going to put my adhesive. I'm going to put a line of adhesive at the top and a line at the bottom, just like that. So it's ready to go. And then I'm gonna make sure that this piece is down. Make sure I've got it all the way down. And this piece is lined up all the way at the bottom along the edges. And I'm gonna center this. About the same amount at the top and the bottom. And that piece will be held together, and that makes our flap. If you're kind of fussy about seeing these lines, you could absolutely put a panel here. I don't think it's necessarily worth doing that, but you can absolutely do that. And I'll show you a real quick embellishment. I'm using a stamp set called The Right Words, a great word set also in the new catalog. This one I did, I wish I had the right words for a time like this. This one I'm gonna do You're So Kind for a thank you. And I'm going to use some of the new in color faux linen ribbon. Super easy to work with, and it's a little bit shiny. And I'm gonna do this one a little bit different. I'm gonna wrap it right around my panel here, and I'm gonna tie a bow on the side. Hopefully I can do this. Well, nobody's really watching me, but we'll see. If you've watched my videos, you know that bow tying is not my forte. I have 3 boys, and tying bows was not a big thing in our household. So I struggle with this part a little bit. Hopefully I can just scoot it a little bit more. So I can just struggle on a pre-made video also. Or I could have just tied the bow and been done. But, what's the fun in that, right? Okay. Make our bow. Goodness gracious. Just wanted everybody to have a little bit of a laugh because Lori can't tie bows even when no one's watching. All right, there we go. We've got our bow, sort of. Okay, I might fix this later and make it look a little nicer, but anyway, you get the idea. There we go, trim that off. Make sure I trim off this ugly little piece. There we go. This piece is in my way. All right. Now, if you're doing this, you might want to put a little glue dot behind there. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to put my words right here, and I'm going to put those up on a dimensional so that my ribbon goes behind it. So I'm just going to put my dimensionals right on the top and the bottom of the piece. And that's a die that I used called Nested Essentials. It's a great, got great shapes for sentiments. I use it a lot. I'm gonna put that right there. And then I'm gonna pull out my In Color Gems, the new gems that were just released. This bow is crooked and it's gonna make me crazy, but that's the story of my life. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna quit messing with it. And I'm going to use, I think I'm gonna use the Cloud Cover gem. I'm gonna put one right here. And I think that's the only one I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do one gem on there, make it just a pretty little thank you card. You can write on the inside, or you can add your panel on the back. But that's the Cut It Apart and Make a Bridge fold. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next week. Thanks.